I believe that the greatest human superpower is the ability to capture and record information. Humans, using language and storytelling, are uniquely good at capturing the essence of something and transferring it to each other across time and space. If you did not have language, if you could only point at things in your immediate surroundings, you would have no way to know about things you had not seen with your own eyes. Anything that happened while you weren't there or before you were born would be inaccessible to you. Irretrievable. But with language, you can preserve that information. That is the first stop on our journey. The word. To fill in the gaps left by words, the listener needs to use their imagination to complete the picture. This can cause problems, because two different people can imagine the same thing very differently. It is more or less impossible to beam a perfect image of what something looks like into another person's mind with just language. Communication can break down, because language is inherently less rich and detailed than the actual world it describes. There was a need for a representation that could go beyond the rigid tools of words. So to fill that need, we arrive at the second stop on our journey. The image. Once we made the advancement of hand-created images, representational art did not advance much for tens of thousands of years. The next big innovations came in the form of things like paper, which allowed for writings and drawings to be made on a relatively cheap and easily portable material, instead of having to be put on stone tablets or the walls of caves, neither of which are particularly easy to carry around. Painting technology improved with better brushes and a wider range of paint and ink colors. But we had come up against a wall. How do we represent movement? Next came animation. We figured out that by drawing a series of flashing still images, they could create the illusion of motion. But this method was expensive and painfully slow, so we looked for a more convenient alternative. The camera. A device that could capture an image of whatever you pointed it at with inhuman amounts of detail. For decades all we had was film, which was beautiful but clunky. Now we have digital, which is as convenient as it is charmless. And now it seems like the progression of images has finally caught up with us. Rather than create or capture, we have begun to recycle. It is terrifying. The more images are fabricated by machines, the fewer human images there will be for them to recycle. We will enter an inescapable spiral. Machines recycling machine recycled pictures. The snake eats its own tail. The best case scenario is that it destroys itself. The worst case scenario is that it destroys us along with it. The only way to resist is to make something human. So let's get to work. We must not let them take away the joy. We must not forget that joy is all around us. They are trying to hide it from us, but they will only succeed if we stop looking. They will tell you that life is not beautiful if it is not efficient. They will tell you that a machine can do your job better than you can. You must remember that it is your job that the machine is doing. It can only imitate you. You are clunky and beautiful. The machine is convenient, and nothing more. You are so much 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 more. We are so much more. We are so much more. We are so much more.